91%. 91% of mobile users are on social media. Now, that number makes sense because we are in the age of technology, right? So 91% of mobile users are on social media. Remember that number. I'm going to give you two more numbers. 91% mobile users on social media. Yet, only 23% of personal brands feel that their content is successful on social media. We have 91% of users of social media, yet only 23% of personal brands feel that their content is successful. That means there's at least 77% of personal brands that do not feel that their content is being capitalized on. They are unable to capitalize on their content. What is the problem? What is the disconnect? Well, let me tell you the story. I have a friend that I've known for several years. We worked for radio, some time back, and we keep in touch on social media. We occasionally have lunch and, we interact. So what I'm saying is I know this guy, okay? Last year, he asked me to help him produce a couple of his radio shows. I said, sure. I get up there, I'm setting up, and then I pause and I look at him and I said, what do you do again? You see, I had been keeping up with him by following his content on social media. I was liking his content. I was engaging in his content. And he produced a lot of content. But what he was not doing is he was not giving thought as to what he was posting or why he was posting it. In essence, what my friend did not have was a content strategy. Not only did he not have a content strategy, but he had failed to connect his content to his brand. You see, oftentimes when people think of brand or branding, they're thinking about their logos and their colors. And not to take anything away, that's important. But that's only a small part of branding. What people do not realize, and I say people meaning personal brands, such as my friend and most often most other personal brands, they do not realize that your content is your brand. Yes, your brand is determined by the content that you put out. So now that you know that your content is your brand, I want to ask you, are you capitalizing on your content? Hi, my name is Cier Black, and I help thought leaders connect their content strategy with their brand strategy so that they can build sustainable, profitable, and scalable businesses. Let's first begin by defining what content is, because I know there's a lot of language out there, and content may mean one thing to one person and it may be another thing to another person. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. First, let me say, with my background in PR, I always say that content and content marketing is the new form of public relations. When you think about PR, one of the things that we always did is we created a story. The second thing we did once we created that story was made sure that we control the narrative of that story. The only difference with content marketing and PR is that the story that we create now is for your customer. So the definition of content is that it is a story. We control that narrative, but it's a story for your customer. That is the definition we are using today for content. If you are a thought leader, if you are building a brand, and if you are creating content, then this session is definitely for you. Today, we are going to go through 3 basic steps that is required for your content to connect to your audience so that you can capitalize on it. I'm giving you the basic 3 steps that anyone can do. This is put this in your toolbox because these are the 3 steps that you must have. The first step is that content must have a captivating message. The very first thing and the very first question I often ask my thought leaders when I work with them is, what is your message? Sometimes they get into telling me their story, and I listen, and it's interesting. But at the end of the day, the two are not the same. Listen to me, hear me out. Your story is for you. Your story is your gift to yourself. When we think about your story, you are thinking about all your experiences, all your ups and downs, everything that made you who you are today, everything that got you to where you are today. Your story is your gift to yourself. But your message is your gift to your audience. Your message is what you know to be true. It may be a principle, it may be a lesson. You see, there are a lot of stories inside of you, but it all leads to one message, your brand message. That message is the gift that you deliver to your audience. Why is this important? It's important because your audience must know that you care. In order to capitalize on your content, your audience must be convinced that your message is a gift to them personally. It must be captivating. And I tell you how true this is. How many times have you heard someone speak and you left or you sat there saying, they were speaking directly to me? Didn't you feel special? Did you not hold on to that message like it was a special gift? Exactly. That's step number 1, that your content must have a captivating message. And that message is a special gift to your audience. Number 2, your content must have a purpose. I did a campaign a little while ago, and it was just about posting with a purpose. Did you know that every single piece of content you put out must have a purpose and a goal? I know people say, is it really that serious? It is that serious. If you cannot state the purpose or the goal of your content, then you shouldn't even bother putting it out. That's just busy work. And when I talk about goals, they don't have to be anything that serious or that elaborate. Let's just say that you want to run up some likes on a post. That's a purpose. Your goal is how many likes. Let's say today you want to talk to your customer. That is a purpose. The goal is how many customers do you want to talk to? Every piece of content must have a purpose and a goal in order for you to capitalize on when you post it. Here's the thing. Your content is the roadmap to your customer journey. Now let's unpack that a little. Your content, whether it's good or not, good or bad, determines the type of journey your customer has. We've all experienced bad experiences with a brand, right? That's the journey that we're on. But there are also some brands in which we hold tight onto because the journey is good. I often say journey is like dating. Wouldn't you agree that dating is a journey? There are 4 stages in dating. There are 4 stages of this journey that is for your customer, that roadmap. The first one is introduction. So let's go back to your content having a purpose. Introduction. You're going to put content out there that introduces who you are, what your services are, and how you can benefit them. The second stage of dating is curiosity. The moment they touch your brand, they have begun their journey, and now they're curious about you. So they're going to stick around. They see something interesting, they're going to stick around. The third stage of dating and your customer journey is enlightenment. So now you've introduced yourself or your brand. They're curious, so they're still sticking around. Number 3, now they want to know a little bit more about you. So now you're putting out content that is useful to them. So we're on stage 4, stage 3. Stage 4 in dating is commitment. But stage 4 in content marketing is conversion. So you see, every phase of your journey on this roadmap serves a purpose and it has a goal. Now, I don't want to scare you, but your content is even attached to your overall business model. You see, that's how deep content strategy is. There are levels to this game that we're playing, okay? It's really that serious. But these are still just the 3 basic steps that needs to be in your toolkit. So the first one, content must have a captivating message. Step number 2, your content must have a purpose. Now we are on to step number 3. Your content must have value. The role content plays in content marketing is that it is supposed to provide solutions to your audiences. You know those 91% of people that we mentioned that I said that are on social media? They're either looking for information, validation, inspiration, or motivation. Your content should fall in one of these categories. Content should be entertaining and emotional. We are emotional beings. Our content must be emotional in order to get our audiences to call action. We want to get them to react. So in order to capitalize on that, we must provide value. But more importantly, consumers today have gotten wiser. You know, with traditional marketing, it was a one-way conversation. But content marketing through your content, it is a two-way conversation. People have come to expect that. People have come to want that. And if your content does not deliver that, then you will be part of the 77% that is not capitalizing on your content. So let's recap. Step number 1, your content must have a message. And again, that message is a gift to your audience. Step number 2, your content must have a purpose. It doesn't have to be an elaborate purpose, but you must know why you're posting this and what is your goal. And in the back of your mind, I want you to always remember that this purpose and goal is in some form or fashion connected to your business model, because the goal is to capitalizing on this content. Remember, we are building a brand because we are looking for customers. We want to build a sustainable and profitable brand. Step number 3 is your content must have value. In other words, what are you giving back to your community? What are you giving to your audience? How are you solving their problems? How are you making them happier? How are you entertaining them? What emotions are you drawing out of your audience? Again, they're here to be informed. They're here to be validated. They're here to be inspired, and they're here to be motivated. So your content must have these 3 basic aspects, these 3 features of it. So we have the 3 steps, right? The 3 steps in order for your content to connect to your audience and to capitalize on it. 3 steps, but there's only one strategy that you need to remember. Remember these 3 steps, but there's one strategy. The biggest takeaway, if you don't remember anything else, is that your content is not about you. Your content delivers your message. Your message is the gift. If we were to go shopping for someone for their birthday or for the holidays, as you are shopping, you're thinking about what is it that that person wants? What is it that they need? What is it that they like? That, in a nutshell, is what your content should be about. What is it that your audience needs? What is it that your audience likes? What is it that they want? Your content is not about you. Your content is about your audience. Your audience is on a journey, and you're building this roadmap. So every piece of content out there is the roadmap for your audience, and it's a journey for your customers. So therefore, this journey and this roadmap must tell the story that the audience needs to hear, the story that is relevant to them, a story that they can relate to, and a story in which they see themselves. Remember, I said content marketing is like the new PR. But just like PR, we create the story and we control the narrative. That strategy, that one strategy, and those 3 steps is how you capitalize on your content. Now, what makes me uniquely qualified to share this information with you? Well, first of all, I was groomed in marketing corporate for many years, yet I was nurtured by way of nonprofits, and I am empowered by entrepreneurship. In over 15 years, I've collected a wide range of experience, threading journalism, marketing, public relations, brand development, and business strategy. All of that into the culmination of what I share with you now. All of that experience and delivering in the form of content is how I help you achieve desired results. What many don't realize is that content is designed to tell your story in a way that it is applicable to your audience. So let's look back at these numbers again. We have 91% of mobile users on social media. Okay? The question we have is, are you going to be part of the 23% of personal brands that are able to capitalize on their content? Or are you going to be part of the 77%? Again, my name is Cier Black, and I help thought leaders, those that want to disrupt their industry, connect their content strategy with their brand strategy so that they can build sustainable, profitable, and scalable businesses. I have something for you. I have a content strategy tip sheet, and you can find that at cierblack.com. We are going into 2021. Ladies, let's get this done. Let's not be part of that 77%. I want to make sure each and every one of you are capitalizing on your content and building content that connects to your audience. Content that connects, capitalizing on your audience. The 3 basic steps are: 1, delivering a captivating message. Number 2 is ensuring that your content has a purpose and a goal. And number 3, making sure that every piece of content you put in is of value to them, is delivering something that they need, that it's either informing them, it's validating them, it is inspiring them, or it is motivating them. Content strategy and content marketing is not about you. It is about delivering an effective and a captivating journey for your customer, because you want your customers to be the hero in their own story. Congratulations to Black Women in Media for their 5th annual conference.